All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Chaotic Kitchen. My name is Olivia, and today we're gonna make some green onion cakes. We're gonna try a gluten-free onion cake recipe. I've never tried this before. We're gonna see how it goes. It is just life. Right now I have my kettle on because what we will need essentially is some flour, some baking soda, salt, a cup of boiling water. We're gonna need some olive oil, sesame oil, and of course the centerpiece, some green onions. I'm so excited. I've been craving this like all day and yesterday. So let's start with our first step. While this is boiling, what we can actually start doing is we're gonna just go ahead and chop up our green onions or scallions. And so just go ahead and start chopping and try to make this as you can see as much as possible. And what if I go here? Perfect. All that jazz. And I'm gonna just put whatever I made into a little bowl, and you've got your little green onions nicely chopped just to the side. Okay, moving on to the next step. In a medium bowl, we're going to take our gluten-free flour, we're going to take our baking soda, as well as our salt. So what you will need is like I said, a beautiful green medium bowl. We're going to put 2 cups of flour. We're going to put 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Try to not make as big of a mess as I just did right there, as well as 1 teaspoon of salt. Following that, we're just going to sift together the dry ingredients to make sure that they're all well mixed. And we are then going to put 1 cup of boiling water into our mix. So here the idea is that when you start mixing, it actually clumps up together, just like that. Beautiful. Following this step, we're actually going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the mix, as well as our chopped green onions, and then we will mix until everything is well combined. I actually ended up adding 1 more tablespoon of olive oil just because I felt like my mix was a little bit on the dry side. And realistically speaking, I could have added maybe like 1 more just because it ended up being pretty dry. So the end result is just this nice mix, and then when I actually clamp it in my hand, you see that it holds very well, and that's kind of what you want to achieve. So we're just going to clean our station, put a parchment paper on the bottom, have our sesame oil handy on the side, as well as I don't know what that is, but something. And then we're actually going to put our a second piece of parchment paper on top of our green onion cakes, just to be able to roll them out more efficiently and as thinly as possible. So you want to kind of first create a nice thin layer, if you will. And you see that I'm lightly really rolling it out just because it was pretty fragile, and like I said, it was a bit on the dry side. If I could go back, I would have added a little bit more olive oil, but I had sesame oil handy, and this is actually what you're supposed to do is just paint some sesame oil on the green onion cakes just to make it a little bit easier to handle. So paint over You can put some salt in this step. I omitted that just because my sesame oil is actually already pretty salty. And then you'll fold it over once, and then make sure that everything is in the center, putting our parchment paper again on top, and very gently just rolling it out to about a 1/4 inch thickness was kind of what the recipe called for, but I went a little bit thinner, and it's up to you. So just repeating the same process, making sure that everything is kind of staying intact. I actually ended up cutting the cake in two just because it was getting a little bit too big. I'm putting the half of it on a little plate, and then when the second half was good to go, I put that on the plate as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish my mix, make sure that sesame oil is handy, and bada bing, bada boom. I'll meet you back when it's time to fry. We're all done. So right now I am heating up a non-stick pan or skillet, or what do you want to call it. I'm putting a good amount of olive oil. I actually heated my pan up a little bit too much. You see it smoking. You don't want it to be that hot, but I'm going to then place my onion cakes into the pan and fry them pretty much until they're golden brown or crispy and just beautiful to watch and see. So while that is pretty much frying, you'll see me just finishing up the batter and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just fry your onion cakes back up. Make sure that you don't smoke out your kitchen. And you're pretty much good to go. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Once upon a time, there was a girl who dreamt of green onions, who dreamt of green onion cakes, and just wanted to have them. So that's why I ended up doing. I don't know why my video is now doing that weird glitchy thing, but honestly, this whole recipe only took me like maybe 45 minutes, really, from start to end. Not too bad at all. Did I say? Yeah, 45 minutes. That was about it. Especially just because it was the first time I was trying to figure out what the heck was I doing with the parchment paper, what the heck was I doing with the flour, what it should have looked like. But it actually ended up to be a really, really tasty treat. I shared it with Andrew, of course, and he said it was pretty good as well. So there you go. We are now going to shift over here and try out one of our beautiful green onion cakes. So I'm not gonna lie, I already had like 3. But when I originally filmed this, my mic went off, so you could just see my movements, but you couldn't hear anything. So I'm gonna redo it, and I'm still gonna enjoy it because these green onion cakes, for a gluten-free recipe and with gluten-free flour, I have to say, are pretty tasty. So they don't look like super attractive, but honestly, they're going in my stomach anyway, so like, who the fuck cares? So I have with me a little bit of hot sauce, some sriracha, and I like my food relatively spicy, so I have this always on hand, and I've got my tea if I need to cool down. So I hope that you enjoyed this, I guess, video. It wasn't that chaotic. I guess I'm in a very calm mood today. But look at me go in my chaotic kitchen. Like, went to bed yesterday and then woke up in a fury and then had to find a recipe for green onion cakes to do today. That's how much I wanted them. So I'm very happy about how they turned out. They taste absolutely delicious. It's crispy on the inside, but like chewy on the inside. It's oniony. It's fried. What more do you want in life but a good green onion cake? You know what I mean? Wow. Amazing. Well, people of the YouTube, I hope you have enjoyed this, today's video. I hope that you try out this recipe for yourself. And if you don't, well, I hope you enjoyed. I can't talk today. But if you haven't, or if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video about green onion cakes. Wow. And I wish you all the best until I see you next time for another Chaotic Kitchen. Bye, friends. Okay. See ya. Off you go.